You're watching News 4 San Antonio at 10.
And we start with breaking news out of Round Rock. The police there in just the last 5 minutes had a news conference to announce that man, Terry Miles, has been caught in Colorado. And the 14 and 7-year-old girls he's accused of taking from Round Rock, they are safe. Police have been looking for them. There's been an Amber Alert since Saturday when the girl's mother was found dead. Now, Terry is described right now as just a person of interest in her death. But again, a news conference just wrapped up. We'll have more from that in just a minute. But first, we have exclusive new video. This is a group of suspected undocumented immigrants. They're getting out of a tractor trailer and then piling into another car. This is on San Antonio's east side, and it is all before police got there and arrested the driver of the truck. And our Yami Virgen has been following this for us today since you broke the story at 5 o'clock. What else have you learned in the last few hours?
Well, we've also learned that this is not the first time that Herbert Nichols' name comes up in a case dealing with human smuggling. We have also reached out to the Department of Justice and the White House, since this is such a critical issue in our country right now, asking what they think of the chief's decision to send the case to the state instead of the federal government. The video starts at about 12:03 p.m. on Saturday, the 23rd of December. You see an 18-wheeler pull over near Splashtown and I-35. The driver, Herbert Nichols, is driving the truck according to a police report. As you can see in this Fox San Antonio exclusive video, a white SUV pulls up. And then the driver opens the back of the truck to allow at least 8 people out. Then 40 minutes later, that's when a police squad car shows up, finding 12 other immigrants in the back of the truck. According to the police report, the officer immediately noticed Herbert Nichols, the driver, pacing near the back of the 18-wheeler. After Nichols told the officer that his trailer had broken down and the people were going to help him move the load, the officer asked one of the witnesses where he was coming from. The man's response, Guatemala. The officer then asked for backup and for agents from Homeland Security investigations, as is customary in these smuggling cases. The report also says Chief McManus arrived at the scene. The report also states that Herbert Nichols confessed to the detective of picking up all of the witnesses in a warehouse in Laredo, Texas. According to Homeland Security investigations, they offered their assistance at the scene. SAPD elected to handle the matter. In a statement, SAPD said Homeland Security was never told their services were not needed. SAPD handled this investigation utilizing the state smuggling statute. But why was Homeland Security allowed to take over the incident last June when 10 undocumented immigrants died in the back of another 18-wheeler and not this one? Sources tell News 4 San Antonio that the driver in custody, Herbert Nichols, now is a person of interest whose name was dropped during the investigation into the tragedy last June. News 4 San Antonio asked former special agent in charge for ICE and Homeland Security investigations, Jerry Robinette, why his former agency is better equipped to deal with immigration issues.
Obviously, we have the primary responsibility, and we need a lot of assistance. It works both ways, but it's our responsibility. I think we're better equipped.
Robinette, who now works for Frontier Solutions, a Washington, D.C. law and consulting firm, says investigations like this one and the one last June have critical information that affects national security.
There's a lot going on. This is not just an event that's taking place in the interior of a city. There's a lot of things going on at the border. There's a lot of things going on in those host countries that you have to be sensitive to.
Now, we did request an interview with Chief McManus, but we're told he was not available. We asked again tonight SAPD spokesperson Sergeant Michelle Ramos where the undocumented immigrants are tonight. She tells News 4 San Antonio they don't divulge that information to protect their investigation and the safety of the witnesses. Yami Virgen, News 4 San Antonio.
All right, thanks, Yami. Just in, these are the winning Powerball numbers so many people have been waiting for because it is a $460 million jackpot tonight. Those are the numbers: 42, 39, 18, 2, 37, 12 is the red Powerball number, and the multiplier is 3.
My ticket is at home. I will send out a tweet if I won. Maybe. Robert Price here at the live desk, where we're just getting new video of a massive house fire on the far north side. Take a look. This is video from a neighbor just north of the Stone Oak area, a home on Chimney Tops, just off Hardy Oak Boulevard. You can see those bright orange flames. Wow, all that damage. We're told crews arrived at this heavy fire, heavy smoke coming from the house. There was even a small collapse on the front of the house. So that, coupled with this heavy fire, caused the crews to have to fight the flames defensively. In other words, from the outside, they say this was a very stubborn fire, large home, but thankfully it is now under control. All right, we're also keeping an eye on that press conference being held by Round Rock Police. As we mentioned at the top, police chief just updated us on those 2 kidnapped girls. They've been found safe, southern Colorado. He says detectives will fly out in the morning to bring back the man they say abducted those girls. All 3 were spotted by sheriff's deputies thanks to a tip inside the same car that was described in the Amber Alert. Randy?
All right, thanks, Robert. Now we want to check in with our Matthew Seedorf out in the cold right now to help you avoid a possible traffic nightmare in the morning. Matthew?
We'll take a look. Right now, the roads look just fine, but overnight, if the pipes break or if the sprinklers are left on by business, it could be dangerous for your morning commute. This morning's commute took an unusual spin for these San Antonio drivers.
Yeah, I just told myself fishtail, and you just kind of have to just keep going. Don't press the brakes or the gas, just keep going.
Our camera was rolling when this Mustang lost control, followed by an expedition driven by Shauna McKenzie.
It could have been a lot worse. No one was hurt at all. Me being 7 months pregnant, it almost put me into labor, but other than that.
A broken pipe is blamed for the ice along Interstate 10 Wednesday, while sprinklers on Monday led to a 5-car pileup on Fredericksburg Road.
Drive cautiously, drive defensively, because not everybody cares as much as you do.
Local attorney Chris Mayo says it depends on the situation, but when businesses cause ice on roads, they could pay for the mess.
As a business owner, if I see something that's foreseeable, I need to take care of it. I need to fix the problem so it's not going to cause harm to the general public. And I think that's a fair thing for all business owners to do anyway.
Just look for ice in the morning, even though there's really no chance of precipitation. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Matthew. Speaking of the weather, we're going to go right to Jeanette right now with the latest on the forecast. So many people concerned about it after all the cold we've had the last few days.
And Randy, it's going to be another very cold night. We have to get through one more night, and then temperatures are going to be improving significantly. No rain is in the forecast, but as Matthew reported, you have to be careful because any standing water on the roads or sidewalks will become icy. 35 degrees right now in San Antonio, 30 in Bernie. It's 28 already in the hill country, and temperatures are going to continue to fall as the night goes on. Here's the forecast for tonight. Mostly clear skies, another very cold night. Temperatures will be dropping below the freezing mark by about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then early tomorrow morning, I would say about 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning is when we're dipped down to about 26 degrees. So bundle up, and again, be careful. I'll have more on when it's going to warm up coming up.
The East Coast bracing for a blast of winter.
I just got some lobster totes here and completely full of sand and salt.
Blizzard warnings are in place from North Carolina to New England. In Massachusetts, forecasters are calling for heavy snow and winds of up to 70 miles per hour along the coast.
Significant flooding, and then that significant flooding and debris possibly freezing for several days.
Throughout the Northeast, crews are spreading salt and sand, while residents stock up.
I've got generator and snowblower gas tanks in my car.
Much of the South is already covered in snow, even the Sunshine State.
It is snowing.
In South Carolina, thousands were left without power. Driving conditions treacherous.
They closing the roads and everything, so we got to get in.
While many Southerners struggled with the snow, others enjoyed the brief blast of winter, including a pair of surfers.
It's only happened twice in my lifetime, so twice I've seen snow.
If you can't surf, slide. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
And with all that, more than 2,000 flights scheduled for tomorrow have already been canceled all up and down the East Coast. In the meantime, if you are worried here about getting a big bill for the energy you use during the cold weather, CPS has some ways to save for you. Their tip: first, set your thermostat between 68 and 70 degrees when you're at home, then move it down to 65 or so when you're away. And if you can at all, dress in layers.
Layer fire up your clothing, pajamas, sleepwear, sweaters, beanies, hoodies, whatever you need when you're in the home to help you stay warm, because that's going to be a more economical way of staying warm than bumping up the thermostat.
And this is interesting. CPS Energy tells us for each degree up or down on your thermostat, it'll either cost you 5% more or save you 5% on your bill. Tonight's Crime Tracker, we've just learned that burglars targeted a historic East Side church over the holidays. Pastor Paul Wilkinson tells us he thinks several people pried open the front door of the New Light Baptist Church and stole an amplifier and 2 speakers in just a matter of minutes.
Sense of being violated, that someone would come into, first of all, the church, the Lord's house, a sacred place, and just take whatever they want to take.
Now, that church there off Piedmont Avenue is the oldest Black Baptist church in San Antonio. Now, we checked online police records, found there have been 2 vehicle thefts and a burglary in that one area in the past 6 months. To find out where crime's happening wherever you are, just go to news4sanantonio.com, click on the Crime Tracker tool that is powered by Alert ID. We have new information now from TxDOT. We are spending $400,000 every month now to repair what are called crash cushions at exit ramps all over town. Our Camilla Rambaldi joins us live tonight and getting, well, one is getting hit more than others, you could say, definitely out on the northwest side. Camilla?
That's correct, Randy. This is a very busy part of town. I'm by 1604 and Bandera. Let me show you what we're talking about. Mark is going to zoom in to that crash cushion over there. Obviously, it's damaged. TxDOT tells me tonight, on average, crash cushions in San Antonio like this one take on about a half dozen hits each year. One driver I talked to says this one by far is the worst he's ever seen.
This one has been problematic.
Albert Castillo is talking about this damaged crash cushion on 1604 northbound. It's at the Bandera exit.
Probably almost hit it twice myself.
Castillo is a firefighter for the Houston Fire Department. His commute takes him right past this exit, and he says it almost always looks like this.
It's been sitting here like that.
On average, TxDOT says it's hit just about every 6 to 8 weeks.
By far, the one that I've seen that's been damaged the most on the roadways.
Castillo blames the design.
Maybe have the engineers reevaluate the whole system itself, where it's put in place, the signs, letting drivers know how far up the Bandera exit is. Other firefighters, other first responders talk about how poorly placed that exit is.
TxDOT tells me it's not the design. They blame drivers who are distracted, intoxicated, or speeding and making a late attempt to exit the highway, adding it can take up to 2 weeks to fix them. This one at Bandera is still waiting for repairs, but Castillo believes it won't be long until it's hit again.
I may see it fixed, but shortly thereafter, give it about a week or 2, maybe sometime sooner, it's broke, it's damaged.
Now, this is just one spot, but TxDOT says this happens all over town. Here are 5 other locations where crash cushions are constantly hit in San Antonio. TxDOT says all these ramps are safe and meet code expectations. Now, for the full list of all the major issues, just head to news4sanantonio.com, and I will keep an eye out on this repair project out here. Back to you, Randy, in the studio.
All right, thanks, Camilla. And in the newsroom now, we are checking on a number of stories. Let me get some information on those for you. We'll get it to you when we come back. Stay with us.
You're watching News 4 San Antonio.
Tonight, Fallon has Johnson.